Joe, how's this preseason and camp gone for you so far?
It's been pretty good. Obviously a lot of new faces around, but getting used to playing with certain guys. But I think overall it's been pretty good. I think our systems are coming along pretty well, and guys are getting accustomed to that. So it's nice to be a part of that.
What were some of your goals as far as where you want to progress this year after playing some games last year? What areas are you looking to improve in this year?
I think all areas of the game. I definitely want to take another step forward, and I got to improve on being better defensively, and obviously like to produce a lot more than I did last year. So I think overall just taking a bigger step in my overall game and being better in all situations.
Is there especially for a young guy, do you kind of a balance that you have to find? I know you want to produce more offensively, but you don't want it to come at the expense of your defensive game. Just what's that balance like?
Yeah, I mean, and what I mean by producing more, I think it's just being in better spots on the ice, better being better in better positions in the offensive zone, getting to those hard areas, and getting a couple of those extra goals in front of the net. And obviously I don't want to cheat the game, and by all means that it's not my style of game, but I definitely want to be on the right side of the puck, and being strong defensively, and I guess being good defensively, that'll transition to more touches with the puck offensively, and being better in my zone will lead to better offense.
As you think about measuring your progress toward those objectives, are there sort of statistical benchmarks you have in mind of these are objectives I want to hit this year, or is it more kind of generalized than that?
I think more just generalized. I mean, I think I had 20 points last year, and would obviously like to an increase in that total for sure, but I definitely want to stick to my game, and stick to the strengths of my game. Obviously I got to take care of my own end first, and being responsible defensively, and kind of gaining that trust to be on the ice a lot more. And if I'm on the ice a lot more, I mean, I'll get more chances, and just being more on the ice, I'll get more chances, and creating more offense, and just getting more puck touches in general. But yeah, like I said, I just want to increase in all areas of the game, and being better in all aspects.
Seems like you've gotten a lot of time with Costin and with Fisher at various points this preseason. How does playing with a couple of heavy guys like that, kind of set an identity for a line?
Yeah, I think we're a pretty big line, and I think we can definitely use our size as an advantage. But we also could bring a little bit of skill. I mean, Klimmer and Fish both had good years last year, and they got some hidden talent in there, I think. And but yeah, I mean, we're a big line. I think we can use that to our advantage, and wearing teams down in the offensive zone, cycling the puck, and being strong on the puck. And yeah, I think we can wear a lot of teams down with our big bodies.
I think you and Daniel Sprong knew each other already a little bit coming in. What's it been like to? Yeah, I think you were on a line with him one day, but also just kind of having him as a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I've known him for for quite some time now. He's close to, well, he's my brother's age, so growing up minor hockey, I've always, whenever I'd go watch my brother play, which was a lot of the times, I'd always see him out there, and then I would train a lot with him over the course of the summers. Back then I would train with his dad sometimes too, and yeah, he's great. I've been driving him around. He's got no vehicle right now, so he's kind of close by to me, but I get along with him. He's obviously getting used to things down here, so I'm kind of shadowing him a little bit, but he's fitting in just well, I think.
How difficult was it for you, just the suspension and having to watch the rest of the Worlds, and just what did you take from that whole experience? What did you learn from that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I learned a lot from that tournament, and it wasn't something that I intended on doing, and obviously I served my suspension, and apologized right after, and I think I just learned that not to do any stupidity, and that was a stupid play by me, and I take all actions for that. But and on the other hand, just playing with a bunch of those guys, a lot of young talent coming up that I got to play with, and it was really fun to be a part of that tournament. International events are always fun, and to come out, obviously with a gold medal in that tournament, was pretty special. But if I get another opportunity at that, obviously, I think I'd do things differently for sure.
Weren't you the Swedes' Uber driver a couple years ago? Was that like a...
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone feels comfortable driving with me these days. So, yeah, I hate saying no to guys, if they need lifts, and I can understand that guys don't have any cars, so more than happy to help them.
As someone, if you're playing with two guys who are new to the team, helping other guys get around, like, what's it, as someone who's in year two with Newsy, what kind of role do you guys who have been here before kind of help communicate kind of his intentions, goals for the team to the new guys?
Yeah, it's not easy, I guess, coming in, especially as a newcomer, as a younger player, to come in here and know what's going on. So, most of the older guys, we'll grab one of these young guys and kind of show them around and talk to them and kind of make them feel more comfortable, so that, they just feel a lot more welcoming when they come here and a lot more comfortable. And that's essentially, the main aspect of being a veteran is to kind of mentor these younger players coming in, and you got to kind of take responsibility in that. So for myself, and I see these new guys coming in, I was once in their shoes, so just kind of grabbing them and helping them out a little bit means a lot to them, and I think it's just makes them feel more comfortable when they're here.
What do you remember about Sprong's game growing up? Like, do you remember noticing his game when you were growing up there?
Yeah, well, it hasn't changed a whole lot. Obviously, you guys can see the shot that he has. He's been working on that for many, many years, and he's always had a phenomenal shot. He was always the best player growing up. As far as I remember watching my brother's games, and he was always the most dominant player on the ice. But he works extremely hard. He's very dedicated. He's obviously a real talented player, and I think he can do some really good. He can help this team a lot this year.
Is there a moment or sort of point in your career when you felt as though you specifically remember crossing the threshold from being one of those young guys to being someone who can kind of help those young guys out?
Yeah, I can remember it just like it was yesterday. It goes by pretty quick, and these newcomers coming in, they're getting more comfortable, and over the years, I guess, it's just been, you kind of look back at it and look at coming to the rink when you were coming your first development camp and main camps. It all kind of brings back a little bit of memories, and sometimes I just like to go back at those days and kind of refresh on that. But these young guys are doing just fine, and kind of like to learn from them a little bit too, in a way.
Is it odd at all to think that 22, 23 years old, you can be a quote-unquote veteran now in this league?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been coming here since I was 18, so I'd like to consider myself maybe a little bit of a veteran, but I've been here for quite some time, and all these development camps and main camps and all that stuff, it's kind of used to that already. So just helping out and helping these younger guys out to show them the way means a lot.
Is it the talent level, like when you look at like we see younger guys step in and play right away, like do you kind of look, even in your experience, that guys are coming in, for lack of a better word, more ready talent-wise and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think the game's changing a lot, and obviously you can see more. I think there's a lot more skill coming around, and I know in the Quebec League they just banned fighting, so obviously you can see that the game's changing a little bit. So there's a lot more freedom, a lot more skill involved now, and you can see a lot of the talent coming out of most of these players, being able to be more creative and all that. So. Look at these younger players over here. The guys that were just drafted within a year or two ago. They got tremendous skill, and you could see that they're picking it up pretty quick. And yeah, I mean, I kind of noticed that, this year.
Michael, talk a little about the opportunity you've had here and how you feel it's been going so far.
Yeah, it's been fun to come into camp. I wasn't honestly expecting to be in this situation, but it's nice to come in, and it's nice to come to an organization where I was able to get 30 minutes in the other night and get a chance to play some more minutes tonight.
You feel like the opportunity really is here for you to turn the tryout into a contract?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just coming here. Thought it would be a fun opportunity to come out and get some skates in and maybe get some more minutes. I enjoy playing hockey, so for me, it's just coming here and enjoying every day and not putting expectations on anything. I'm just coming here doing my thing, and whatever happens will happen.
You look at it as, you're getting your second appearance tonight, getting some good video for, regardless of whatever the Wings decide, but at least it can also, other teams could take a look at that too. Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, it's better to be skating than being at home and sitting on your butt. So, for myself, it's just the opportunity to come here, get some good skates in, meet some guys, get to see a great organization, and like I said, you come in with no expectations, so I can just kind of enjoy each moment, and whatever happens, happens.
When did you kind of realize you were going to have to go down the PTO route? As the summer was going on, I wasn't even sure if I was going to take a PTO or anything, and I just kind of got a call on the Monday before camp, and didn't have too much going on. I was actually on the golf course. I was getting the itch to kind of get on the ice, and so I figured, why not come here and, like I said, have an opportunity to, get some exhibition game minutes in, and I enjoy playing hockey, so I thought it would be a fun opportunity to come and get back on the ice. Are you one of the guys that, because some guys, they say have an agent for that, and but they're actually more involved. Other guys, it's pretty black and white. They really don't, where are you on that kind of, you just letting your agent handle everything, or what's kind of the perspective for you on that?
Yeah, I've had my agent for years, and, I trust him and really lean on him, and, obviously this offseason didn't go quite the way that we planned or envisioned it, but it's just one of those things. It is what it is, and you just have to keep moving forward, and I think that's something I've been doing my whole career is not everything goes to plan. It's just you gotta pick yourself up and just keep moving forward, and for myself it's just keeping perspective on like I said, I enjoy playing, I like coming to the rink, I like being on the ice, so I just come and put in my work, and whatever happens that's out of my control is going to happen.
Do you and your agent look at the organization's depth and goal and kind of see what opening there might be for you?
Not too much. Like I say, this one happened so kind of last minute that just was right timing of being offered the opportunity and just wanting to get back on the ice and skating. So. We don't really look at things too much because, again, so much is out of my control. The only thing I can control is how I show up every day, and my attitude, my work ethic, how I can perform on the ice. So that's just what I kind of focus on, and the rest, as far as organizational depth, what they're looking for, what could happen, it's so out of my hands that I just don't really focus on it.
So did you have to scramble to get ready? Where were you? I know you're golf course, but where?
I was in Winnipeg when it happened, so we got the phone call on Monday. I had to fly out on Tuesday, and so it was a little bit of a scramble getting home. We had some plans that week we had to cancel with my wife and I, so it was a little bit of a scramble, but like I said, I thought it would be a fun opportunity.
When you say you weren't sure if you were even going to take a PT, so were you considering retirement then?
No, I was not really sure. I was going to kind of wait things out and kind of see what happened, because like I said, 2 days before camp you don't really have anything, so I'm didn't think I was even going to get a PTO, and then I'm like, oh well, if you do, is there a point of taking it or not? So for myself, it was just kind of unsure. It was uncharted territory. I haven't been down the PTO route before. I haven't had to wait this long into an off season for anything before. So, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a waiting game until October, November, and see if there was injuries or something along those routes for it. So for myself, like I said, it's a lot of uncertainty, so I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I was never really planning on retiring. I knew I was going to end up, playing somewhere. It could have been overseas in Europe, could be here, who knows.
Yeah. Is this something you learned as a goalie growing up? Because there's only one job, right? Like there's only, you can add another forward, you can play, and there's only one. Is this something you the mentality you picked up playing the position growing up?
Yeah, it's just, you learn, it's a hard thing early on in your career, but when you're a young guy, you want to be in the net, and you then realize everyone wants to be in the net. It doesn't matter, if you're the first guy, second guy, third guy, fourth guy in an organizational depth chart, like you want to be in the net. But at the end of the day, there's only one net. The main goal of every team is to win a championship, and so you end up realizing that you just have to do what's in your control to help your team reach that goal as best as possible, and learn, to not worry about what anyone else is doing or where people might see you or where you are on, a depth chart or, in organization's eyes. Is just kind of focusing on what I can control every single day and showing up and just, being the best version of myself when I show up to the rink.
When you look at kind of how the goalie landscape has changed, or see teams play 4 or 5 goalies a year, does that make it for you even more encouraging when you look at there will be opportunities somewhere as you figure it out? Oh
yeah, for sure. It's something. The season is so long, and so it's a long season. It's a very taxing and grueling season on, physically on you and mentally on you. So, even my season last year, I think I played 4 games by Christmas time, and then, you end up getting traded and playing a few games down the stretch. So it's one of those things where you never know how the season's going to end up. So it's just, showing up to the rink and trusting that you're doing the right things to put yourself in a position where when and if you do get an opportunity, you're ready to take advantage of it.
With the position and how it's evolved now and health-wise, I'm just curious of what steps have you kind of taken in your career so that you could always be that next man up when it does happen?
Yeah, for me, it's just comes down to it's kind of a cliche, but being a good professional. You show up to the rink, make sure I take care of myself off the ice, on the ice, and keep a good balance in life. So then mentally, I feel good. I find that having an escape from hockey, having being able to leave the game at the rink for myself is a great thing. So then when I show up to the rink every day, I'm refreshed, I'm excited to be there. I don't bring good day or bad day. I don't bring it home to me. I leave it at the rink, and then physically it's just maintaining things and staying on top of your health. And so it's a challenging thing especially when you're not playing every single night. To make sure that you don't let your workout slack. You don't stop taking care of yourself. Just because you're not getting that opportunity, but it's just, staying on top of it for the full year.
Yeah, how's the training camp gone so far for you?
Training's kind of gone good. It's a new city, new team, new guys. We have a lot of new guys, new faces, so we've been bonding pretty well, and it's been going good so far.
Is there a big adjustment when you come over to a new team like that, or?
I wouldn't say not really, with knowing Wally and Fabs growing up, and Joey in Montreal, and playing with Matsi and DP in Pittsburgh when I was 18, so know a good amount of guys already a little bit around the league, and when you're in the league long enough, you play against them, so pretty familiar with most guys.
It does kind of help. I mean, from that perspective, you have to team almost, it sounds like.
No, for sure.
Be a big plus. Yeah.
No, for sure. With free agency, I played with Mantha in Wash, so he asked what he thought of the city, and it was all positive things, and I'm happy to be here.
What's been your assessment of the forward corps so far?
We're a deep team. I don't think it's just the forwards. I think if you look at our back end, our goalies, I think we're a deep team. It reminds me a lot of Seattle's team last year. We're depth on all 4 lines, and I think any four lines and our Ds can step up and make a difference every game.
What does that do for you as a forward to know that there is scoring potential on every line that goes out there?
Oh, for sure. I think it takes less pressure off the big boys. Just knowing if they're maybe off one night, that rarely happens. But there's games where they're not feeling it. You have your second, third, fourth line that can make a difference and bring offense and take over games as well. And it makes it hard for matchups as well.
You played on a line the other night with Nate Danielson. For a 19-year-old kid coming in here right out of the draft, what have your impressions been so far?
He's looked good. He's calm with the puck. He has a good hockey IQ, and just try to let him play his game and support him as much as I can. I remember when I was 18 coming out of the draft and getting an opportunity to play a lot of games, and I just want to help him as much as I could, and I thought he played really well and he's had a real good camp.
Everyone we've asked about you, the first thing they mention is your shot. I'm curious from your perspective how that shot sort of fits into your overall game as a player.
I think I've always had the shot. It's something I worked on growing up and still do, but I think it just adds another piece or another element you can say to my game in a positive way, where I feel like I can score from anywhere in the offensive zone. I don't need much time to get the looks, and I think that's a big part of my game, but also that opens up other guys and other opportunities to find open space and for them to score.
Fab said you had it when you were 9 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just born with it, you think, or kind of like?
No, I put in the work for it. I don't think it's something that just happened naturally. I put in the hours and the time, but yeah, when we played it growing up, it was definitely there too.
So people will talk about, like, the shooting into the washing machine or whatever. What was your target that you practiced on when you were?
I had a net in the backyard, so I had a net and just shot plenty of pucks there. And it just, as with age, you got older and you get stronger, of course. And I think the way I shoot, it's pretty much a lot of technique, and then I put my weight behind it. But that's just something that's natural to me now. But growing up, that's a lot of hours put in.
Were you shooting off grass, or did you have like a concrete slab? Or?
It's like one of those plastic wooden boards. I think now it's just a piece of wood, and puck slid, and it did the job for me.
What gives you reason to be pretty optimistic about this team?
Well, I think if you look at the team last year, they were in a playoff spot up until half point, and it kind of went sideways. But I think they were out of a point, 8 to 12 points last year in a playoff spot. We're talking about a 6-7 game swing. To make the playoffs, you got to have steady. You got to be good all year long. You can't have drop-offs. You got to be consistent, game in, game out. And the games that maybe you don't deserve to win, you find a way to sneak a point out, or you win an overtime or a shootout. And those points matter at the end of the year. But I think the biggest thing is you got to be consistent all year. And like we said, we're talking about 8 to 12 points. That's 5-6 games. You win one in overtime, you get an extra point there, or you win a game that you shouldn't win. Those things matter. But I think with the new guys coming in and the core group that's been here, it's an exciting time, and I think all the guys came here for a purpose, and we want to be in the playoffs this year.
Playing on a line with JT Comfort lately, what sort of little things does he do that kind of make your life easier as a winger? Yeah,
I played him in playoffs last year, and he was a pain to play against last year, of course. He's a great two-way player, good defensively, but also really good offensively. And with Fabs on the other side, I think the line that's been put together has some speed, has offensive game. I think you saw that in Wash, and we've been clicking in practice. But I think he just brings a calm and steadiness down the middle, and he talks very well in D zone for time, or if he wants in the middle. And I think we've been playing pretty well together that one game we've been together.